What's going on, everybody? Appliance Guy Picker here. Just wanted to make this video of my tool bag, and I'm going to go through it and show you what I carry every day and let you know what you absolutely need and let you know what you don't absolutely need. So first off, this is a custom leathercraft bag. Can't remember which one this is, but it's the one that's got two zippers and then this pouch in the front. It's also got some little storage pouches on the side. Sometimes I mostly just keep my temp gun right there, but sometimes I'll stick a screwdriver or something in one of those just to have it handy. So this is the front of the bag. This pouch opens up. It's got two snap rings on each. It's got one snap ring on each side. Sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed and it's gonna be a little frustrating. But in the front here, got my fluke meter. I keep that attached to this little carabiner in the back so I don't lose it. And what I keep in this little pouch with the meter is obviously my meter. That's the Fluke 323. I also keep a more diverse meter on the truck that does temperature and much better ohms checking, the one that has different settings for testing ohms and things like that. But this is what I keep on my bag because this gets 90% of what I need done. And then I bought a separate set of leads, and they come with all kinds of tips. So it came with the regular tips. I bought these separately, and then a little container of different connectors for the tips that you can put on. It's got the little tiny ones for getting into all the little tiny spots, the little tiny boards and connections on boards and things like that. And then of course the old clamps, which they come in handy when you're in a tight spot and you need to clamp onto something. So that's the meter. Then I keep this gyroscopic DeWalt 9-volt. Need to put my new battery in. But it's gyroscopic, so there's no directional button. It just goes whichever way you turn it. And this is a flat one, then it can just be a regular gun. And I keep my couple of bits, my most used bits up top, 1/4 inch, 5/16, and then of course the Phillips head. Also got a set of Kevlar sleeves. They go all the way up to my elbow. Those are nice. Not necessary. The meter's necessary. Gotta have that. Screw gun's not necessary. You can do it all by hand. It's just gonna be a lot quicker. And not to backtrack, but that's why I get the 8-volt. It does have adjustable torque on it, but if you're running an 18-volt impact, you will break stuff, because that's what I used to use. So get you a little 8-volt. This thing holds a pretty decent charge. I keep a spare always charged in the truck. So that's not a must-have. You can do all the screwing by hand, and when you're brand new, you probably should. You should do a good year's worth of everything by hand before you start using that. But the Kevlar sleeves, then some nitrile gloves, and then in this front little pouch, I keep some other stuff, but right now all I have in there is whatchamacallit. And then I keep some sandpaper down in this little pouch too, but I haven't put that in yet. Just some sandpaper for cleaning up stuff. This front pouch, I got 3 things. A bag of randomness, screws, washers, different types of little fittings. My magnetic thing. I started putting all my screws in the bag because I was keeping them loose in there, but they would all stick to this thing. And then my garbage disposal wrench. So that's all I keep in that thing. That thing's kind of a catch-all, though. I end up throwing a lot of stuff in there. So then on to the front pouch. In this pouch, I keep some hose right here, 1/4 inch hose. And then in this little pouch, which is rubber, and then it's got a little meshy on the outside, I keep any liquids, so like Sil-Glide, silicone, stuff like that. Because if these things bust, I don't want them getting all over my bag. I want them contained. But I keep some zip ties, just little random stuff, some extra wire nuts, things like that. Stuff that it's not a big deal if one of those tubes does bust on it. It won't ruin the whole bag. It'll just ruin what's in there, and nothing in there is worth a lot. So that's my thought process behind that. Then right down to this one, I just keep some tapes in there, Teflon tape, electrical tape. I think there's some gas Teflon tape in there too. Then this little pouch is stuff I don't really use much, but it's nice to have. So electrical tester, an attachment to hook all my 1/4-inch sockets to my drill. Oops. Just a little set of extra bits, nut driver bits, a little mini stubby that I got from Harbor Freight, a thumb drive I got from Harbor Freight. Then this front pouch area where my tools are, these are my not very commonly used tools. So I got a little file, like a big file in this corner. I've got a mini hammer. These two actually don't even stay in my tool bag. I just had them out the other day. But these usually stay in a different toolbox on my truck. Then I keep this nut driver right here, and I use this for installing motor couplings to go on that shaft and beat the motor coupling on there with a hammer. Make sure it's seated nice and good. Then a little gas sniffer, a little file, some of these little pokey things from Harbor Freight, little picks. I don't use those ever. I use some of them, but I don't use any of those. The ones I use commonly are on the other side in the other pouch. These are some old needle nose. I actually have a brand new pair of needle nose on my truck I need to put in here, but these are some old Harbor Freight needle nose, and I need to oil them up. They've locked up on me. Those picks, to backtrack a little bit, those picks, buy you a set. They're helpful. And buy you a set of these too. These are hose clamps, vice grips, locks, so it locks in place. So if you have a hose clamp giving you a hard time, lock that on there. It's adjustable on the other end like a vice grip, so you can tighten or loosen your lockdown. Then let's go across. I don't know why I started in the middle. That was kind of dumb. 2 sets of vice grips. Hardly ever use them, but they're handy. I got a multi-ratcheting wrench. It's got 3/8, quarters, 3/16, and 5/16. You're really going to only use the 1/4 and 5/16 most of the time, but it's nice to have the other two just in case you run across something. But I actually don't use this as much as I thought I would when I bought it. But it's still a nice tool to have. Then trampoline tool. This right here, you probably saw in another video of mine, but we bought a trampoline recently, and when I saw this tool, I was like, that looks like something I could use. So I put it on my truck, and sure enough, it has come in handy. What it's really handy for is when you replace those pulley ropes on the dishwashers, and you got to pull that spring back and hook the rope into it, this thing will save you time. Trust me. A little set of extensions for my 1/4-inch ratchet. Adjustable wrench. Don't use them very much. I'm a channel lock guy. And then a swivel head ratchet for getting in little tight spots or whatever you need to do. That's a snap-on. Some sliders for protecting floors. They're a good thing to have. I would say those almost are necessary because you really don't want to. You should have a set of easy sliders on your truck, the long plastic ones, and then you should have a set of these in your tool bag. Then I got my wiggy for testing loads. Already went through all this. So yeah, that pretty much sums up this compartment. Now let's get to the good stuff. All the stuff that I use every day. So I'm gonna turn this thing around. Sorry about that. I had to turn the bag around. But this is the compartment I use every day. This is my go-to compartment. Keep a set of bits right here. It's a Harbor Freight Hercules Impact set. It runs you about 20 bucks. You can catch them on sale for 15. But it's a pretty nice set. It comes with a bunch of different attachments, bunch of different bits. Got a 1/2-inch ratchet attachment. All the bits holders, the bit holders are magnetized, so that's nice. These are the picks that I do use, and it's the straight pick and the little bitty curve pick. They come in handy. So I keep those right there for easy access. Then I keep a mirror right here for inspecting. I have a small one and a big one with a light up top. Then I keep this thermometer that I never use because I always use my digital thermometer, but I have that just because I bought it when I first started my business. Then I got a little bit here for just when you need to make a hole in something or drill a screw out or whatever. A couple of little opening ratchets, set of channel locks right here. I used to have several sets of these. I had this set, these, a bigger set and a small set, and I lost the other two, so I need to go get some more. I really like the small ones. They were good. Set of metrics for my 1/4 inch. A set of wire strippers, cheap ones from Harbor Freight. They've held up for 2.5 years. Doing fine. Flat blade, putty knife, 5-in-1 putty knife. All this, in my opinion, all this stuff is necessary. Probably not this thermometer, but these two are necessary. These two are necessary. This is necessary. Got to have a set of metrics. Got to have channel locks. Got to have a little drill bit. Got to have some opening wrenches. Got to have the 5-in-1 putty knife. Got to have the wire strippers. Got to have the hose clamps. These are radiator hose clamp pliers. They're for locking down on hoses when you're working on washers or whatever you're working on that you need to clamp a hose on. So you don't want water coming out of. These aren't necessary, but they sure make a job easier. They're just the water inlet hose pliers. Then a 1/4 inch nut driver. This is a telescopic mirror with a LED light on it. Cheap. I got it off Amazon. Telescopic, magnetic, for when you drop stuff behind whatever. This guy, I would go as far as to say that he is necessary. If your tool bag does not have one of these 90 angle drivers, 90 degree drivers, your tool bag is not complete yet. And you need to go and spend 20 bucks. And you need to pick up one. There's a really nice Milwaukee one. I think that one's 20 and this one's 15. But I had the Milwaukee one and I lost it, so I got the cheaper one. Because I lose a lot of tools, unfortunately. But yeah, so that is a must-have. This little plastic piece, this comes in a kit at Harbor Freight, and it's actually very useful. I use it quite a bit. So go and pick you up. Go through Harbor Freight and just look around and check stuff out, and go on some of the Facebook pages and different forums and see what kind of tools or people are using, and watch some other videos on YouTube. There's a lot of good. And then I just got a cheap old regular, what is this, a 6-way screwdriver, 6-piece screwdriver. It has the number 2s on one side, number 2 Phillips and a flathead, then a 5/16 and then a 1/4 inch and a number 1 Phillips and flathead on the other side. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's my bag in all its glory. I got a little clip thing over here for clipping on something if I ever needed to, but I don't have anything to clip on there. I'll be perfectly transparent with you. This is not how my bag typically looks, but that's the bag. Hope you guys like the tour. I'm gonna zip her back up and put this video together for you guys. Hope y'all have a great weekend. Bye. Like, comment, subscribe.